Present you a little deployment of VPN between a Palo Alto firewall and a Cisco ASA firewall. The Palo Alto is connected to an ISP router. Aruan is connected to the ASA external interface on 200.0.0 network. And internally, I have a 10 network for the Palo Alto, and internally on the ASA, I have a 20 network as shown in the topology. So in accessing the devices, I have a Palo Alto configuration here where in the configuration of the VPN, we begin by configuring the phase one policies. That's the IKA crypto policies. So in the IKA crypto policy, I've configured group 5 encryption 3DEX authentication SHA-1. And the other side of Cisco, the slight difference is when it comes to the phase one. On the phase one, we have hashing in terms of authentication. So in terms of phase one, we have the hash policy. So this is the phase one where we have the hashing as SHA and encryption 3DEX. The other like the other side. Time is 1 hour. That's 3,600 seconds. So on phase two, in the phase two configuration, we have the IPSec crypto, which it's on the ASA transform set. So in the transform set, we have encryption AS256 and we have authentication SHA-1. So we can see it here also, crypto aka transform set AES256, and it's using ESP as IPSec protocol. And you can see ESP AS256, ESP SHA HMAC as authentication, encryption and authentication protocol. Then in terms of after configuring these two policies, we came to the gateway part of it. So we need to configure a gateway that it's more like the crypto map on the ASA, where you have the remote IP address configured on it, but here we have to activate the local IP address, remote IP address, and the pre-shared key. And also we have to bring in the policy configured on bring in the policy configured the IKA crypto profile policy. So this is the crypto profile policy, then the NATS traverse, and here also that's all. We need to bring the crypto policy which was configured. So the crypto policy I'm talking about is this aka phase one policy, which is ASA VPN. So we brought in the phase one policy onto the gateway. The second part of the configuration, now we come to the interfaces. So on the interface of the Palo Alto, you can see the default interface is this, where we have all these interfaces in and out. But we need to come to the tunnel interface. We create a new tunnel interface if you don't want to use the existing tunnel interface, where I define a new tunnel interface, tunnel 1, and I assign the security zone as inside. That's an internal zone. Then after defining that tunnel interface, then I come to the virtual router, the routing of the traffic. So in the routing process, in the routing configuration, the first thing is to activate that interface which you have configured. So if I click here add, then I'll select what interface I need to add. Like you see, like tunnel 1, tunnel, so those are the interfaces which you need to call them in here. Let me delete this. Then after calling this interface, the next part is the routing. So in the routing part of it, what is configured is I say if you want to get to the 20 network, that's the remote site network of the ASA, you have to go through the tunnel interface configuration. And when after this is done, then we come to the IPSec tunneling configuration. In the IPSec tunneling configuration, we bring in the tunnel one which we had configured. We pull in the gateway. Remember the gateway configuration that has the IKA version, that has the phase one IKA, that has the phase one policy on it. Then we have the phase two policy, that's IPSec crypto profile policy in it. Then we come here, we define the interesting traffic, source and destination, what needs to be allowed. Then after configuring this, then the last part of the configuration is the policy. So in my policy, I just define because it's an intrazone. It's intrazone. I just say from source to destination intrazone permit any. Then after that is configured, then I can go ahead with the testing of of, of the VPN. On the Cisco part of it, if you want to look at the Cisco configuration, I can also explain to you what was configured. So let me just log on to the firewall. The Cisco configuration. So in the Cisco configuration, this is the inside interface, this is the outside interface. This is the access list that will be permitted from source to destination for the VPN traffic. This access list will be activated in phase two. This is the NAC policy, LAN destination, remote site, remote as regards to this object, remote object, and LAN object. I can show you those objects. I'll show you the object configuration. So this is the LAN object and this is a remote object. Then in terms of phase two, you define the transform set, like what I explained on the other side. Then after defining the transform set, then you can define the map, crypto map, which is phase two, which is VPN. This VPN is the access list which we configure, the remote IP address, the transform set, and the outside interface. Then the lifetime. Then we come to the phase one. This is the phase one. This was supposed to be the first part of the configuration, which is encryption 3DEX, hashing here. Here hashing is sharp, but the other side is encryption. The other side is authentication. Sorry, authentication. While this side says hashing sharp, here it's. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. So if we come to the network interface, on the phase under phase one, yes, under phase one. So I'm talking about this authentication. This authentication is SHA-1 here, but the authentication here is hashing. So that's just a difference in terms of the configuration. Then don't forget the tunnel group configuration with the pre-shared key for it for activation, and that's all. That's all I have for the VPN configuration. Thank you.